Hey, welcome back to Monster Gaming. Like I said, I've been trying to jump back into Elvenar and just wanted to talk a little bit about the game. I think I have a bunch of different reasons to play this game or for you to try this game out. But I'm going to start with just a few because I don't want to get too carried away and make the video too long. But the first reason to get into a game like this is if you like city building games. If you like starting with almost nothing and then developing and growing and going from there. So I'm just going to zoom in here. So when you start the game, I think you're at about that kind of depth. Your viewpoint is right there. And this is my city hall here, this purple flower thing. And definitely it's not that big when you start, but the plot of land that it's sitting on is that size. You just start with a small building and you kind of go from there. And you can see the human person there walking along. That is like a fairly common perspective, probably maybe something like that. And then some of your earlier buildings, like this dragon right here, is a fairly early building. It's probably one of your largest buildings actually when you start out the game. Let's see. And then you can see that you can get, all kinds of stuff. So for people that like city building or a nation building, empire building, whatever it is, this is a fantastic game. I know there's a ton of other games that are more of a base building where you have a bunch of buildings, but it's primarily meant to defend you and to go to battle and do a ton of PvP, rinse, repeat. And there's tons of games that are like that. Then on the flip side of that, there's a bunch of games that are city builders like SimCity and other ones, and they'll borrow a little bit from like this kind of game too, where you have different buildings that produce specific goods and use those goods to then upgrade or build bigger things or get more resources, etc. So that's probably familiar to a lot of you. But the cool thing with this one, I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so you can kind of get an idea. Let's zoom out to there. Let's see how big this space is, and keep in mind a base building game and how big those are. Oops, sorry. I want to drag this way. I'm going to drag this way because you can continue building way over here. You can keep going over here. Keep going a little further. And that's the edge of the map right there. I'm going to zoom out a little bit more. So this is all area where you're going to be able to build this area here, right? And this is how much space I've unlocked. So you can see that's a vast area. Like I have this part unlocked already. I still have, so much more that I can do for sure. Way more in the game to accomplish, etc. In addition to being a city builder, a lot of city building games have that as your focus. Basically, it's like get bigger, expand your territory, have a better economy, grow, right? So yeah, this has like the same kind of thing, but this one gives you a tech tree. And there are a few other games that kind of follow that pattern where you have a little bit of like a timeline that you kind of want to progress through bit by bit. You're not gonna be breezing through them, but they kind of make sense. Like this technology is going to unlock itself, which is then going to unlock this, and then it's going to unlock that. So it has a nice little progression pathway that keeps you focused, I guess. And like, okay, like I've completed this portion, I'm going to go to the next. I'm going to show you that here in the research tree. Let's go back way to the beginning and we can take a look. I believe when the game first came out, it was only the 5 chapters, and that was pretty much the whole game. They have since modified and added a ton to it. So let's go back to the beginning. You get your main hall that's required. Then you get your workshop, which gives you supplies. Then there's culture in this game, which kind of gives you happiness and other things. And then you start getting your different resources in your barracks. You can defend yourself, city expansion, an armory helps out, neighborhood lets other people help you, lets you help them. Now you can do advanced residences. Things are getting a little bit more advanced here. Now you're in stage 2. You start unlocking all these things here. advance this, advance that. And basically it just upgrades the building, makes it more powerful. But unlike other games, when you upgrade your buildings here, they actually change in look. And sometimes, depending on where you're going, they also change the size of the building, of the structure. So now in this game, you have to be very aware of being able to fit things where you want them to go and have enough space. All right, then you keep going up over here. We're not going to read these, but you can kind of look at them. You can see the different things. Let's keep going. Chapter 3. You can see this one has a ton of requirements, so you'll probably spend a good amount of time on chapter 3. This is where the beginning of the meat of the game really starts. Is in chapter 3. 1 and 2 is just kind of introductory. Now you have advanced scouts. You can start exploring a little bit further, a little bit easier. Secret Ancient Wonders in chapter 4. That's huge. Let's see. You can start doing tournaments. Let's see. Some more things here. You can see there's a city expansion in almost each one, which is good because that's a little tricky, like I said, at first. And throughout the whole game, it's going to be tricky, is getting more space. You're unlocking some more things. City expansion number 16. So it's nice that it keeps track of those things. City expansion 17, city expansion 18. So you see in chapter 5, they're giving you a bunch of expansions because you're going to be getting right into the dwarves. You're going to need that extra space. So anyways, this is just kind of like a tech tree, and it tells you which ones you need to complete to unlock the rest. It is recommended to complete all of them because they do give you benefits or unlock certain things for you, even if you're only going to do attack city or not or whatever, which actually we'll talk about in a separate topic here. But you can see that it gives you a ton of progression that way, right? The other thing that's really cool is right here on the left, you see the little blue square here with the little paper in it. These are events. There's usually events, and most games have that, so it shouldn't be too different for you. But quests are also awesome. All the quests are going to have to do with whatever age you're in or where the game thinks you are, depending on the buildings that you've built and the previous quests that you've been able to or not been able to complete. It kind of gives you a little bit of direction almost of hey, these are a few things you want to kind of focus on. There's a little dialogue. It's usually pretty simple. That's kind of the storyline, I guess. I don't usually read them because they're just kind of very light and simple things. But it gives you a little bit of context. And then you'll see, sometimes you'll have 2 or you'll have more quests. You can always cancel these, but they will never come back again. So you might get stuck and just want to move on. That's fine. But just note that whatever that reward is, you're not going to get it. So only skip if you really have no interest in completing that quest and want to go on to the next. Not all quests are cancelable, though, if that's a word. But that also gives you a little bit of focus. So if you're not, ready to move on in the tech tree, you can look at the quests and that will help you progress because that's also going to ask you to do production and do different things, stuff like that. And I clicked that by accident, but that is going to be the next big topic. Which I think will be the last topic that I'm going to talk about for this video. But I feel like the whole point of this game and the whole reason that this game really stands out versus a lot of other games that could potentially be similar is that this game is not about PvP. There is no PvP. There is no way to attack or fight other players in the game. Now you might say, "Ugh, that's kind of boring. I like the competitiveness. I like trying to see, if I'm better equipped, if I have a better army, what's the point then? I'm just building a big city. I mean, I could play some city or play something else more casual." But no, the great thing about this particular game is it's all about your fellowship. So that's super important, is you want to be in a fellowship. And that's why I'm partially doing this video, is we're trying to get some more people into the fellowship. A lot of people are either really into this game, they find fellowships super quickly and then they're in them, or they're not in them at all, or they're not really playing at all. It's a tough game that way because it's kind of hard to find people to play because they're already in a fellowship, because they know how important it is. It's like really a must in this game where you move pretty slowly. Or you kind of don't really like the game, or you can't find a fellowship you like, or you're just sitting there going by yourself, and then you're like, this is boring. Now, there's so much stuff in this game around fellowships. But not only that, it's also around people helping people. Like this whole game is about helping. So I'll go here to my little alert thing, just notifications, right? And it shows me, these are all the people that helped me. So this guy polished your builder's hut. So polished means that they assisted you in some way, but they're just using that term. So it says it helped me. They need your neighborly help as well. And these are the two things that they've requested for you to help on. So I'm going to click this one and help them. And what did I just get? I just got some supplies and I got some gold. In addition to that, I got a relic. That's one of the ways to get a relic. And relics, you can get them here and there, but you can't like just, I mean, I guess you can kind of craft them, but they're not stuff that you just get just cause. There's very specific ways to get them. And this is one of the ways of getting and accumulating relics. And relics are powerful. So once a day or whatever you want to do, you do want to go through your notification list. Go and help these people, right? Now, every time I'm helping them back, I don't have to visit their town. I don't have to go anywhere. I can just literally just look at this and click it. It's that simple. Now, the cool thing is that this can be modified. You can actually increase the benefit of you helping other people. I'll be done with that one. But let's go back to your city hall. I'll click and go info first. So your info tells you what your main hall and what your civilization can do. That's the capacity, how much, that's the supply capacity, neighborly help. So every time neighborly help is activated, 21K, because I'm a level 19 city hall. As you keep upgrading, that actually goes up. Awesome, right? It kind of encourages you to progress in the game and keep moving forward in the game because your neighborly help will actually improve. We'll switch over to the relics real quick. This is a whole other topic too, but there's 3 different goods and the 3 main goods in the game. There's other ones, of course, but these are the core goods. And you're always going to have a boosted one. Once again, we'll probably talk about this in another video, but this is how the relics help. When you start accumulating relics, you'll be able to actually level up the production of your good once you've accumulated a certain amount. So you can see here that I need 1 more planks relic to get to the next level on the planks. And I'm already at 670%. And the other one I'm at 700, and the other one, I don't know what that is, sulfur, I forget what it is 678%. So as you play, you're going to start accumulating these relics, and the relics are going to boost. Now, all the other ones here, I can unlock later. There are ways to unlock them. What was I going to say? You do acquire those as well. They're just not really boosting you until you unlock them. But they're still there. So you would use a lot of relics. Sorry, I'm going off topic a little bit. But you can use relics to go here. If I wanted to produce these, you're using relics. And these over here will never be your boosted relics. Or your boosted good, sorry. They'll always be the other ones. So we're not going to talk about Magic Academy. Obviously, you can produce these things that are going to really help you, yada, yada. But the benefit is all those relics of the boosted goods that are not, your enhanced ones, you can still use them. So that makes sense. It's all good. Everything is good, basically. The other thing that I'm noticing on here is you can go into the world map, everything that you've already uncovered. I can go to my neighbor here. Same thing, neighborly help. So I think you should be doing this regularly anyways, because then it introduces that back and forth of like, I helped you, you're going to help me. And then people start remembering who they're helping, things like that. You can send messages. Look at that. I got a free relic. Perfect. What was I going to say? if you're ever running low on money or gold, you can go and do these things, right? Um, the last area that I will point out why you want to be in a fellowship, other than, I mean, there's fellowship tournaments, there's other things. Those are kind of obvious, I guess. But the other one that's not as obvious is if you're going to do trades, and there's a ton of trades to be done in this game. I don't have anybody in there. Is you could set up trades that would be basically beneficial to your fellowship, or make them only for your fellowship. So you could put super lopsided trades and list them only in your fellowship, and you can do that. Versus if you were doing it for anybody, the game won't let you do super unbalanced trades. But you could trade all day long with your fellowship. 2-to-1. I think you can even do 3-to-1 is top. This is as far as you can go, but you can do that if you're helping each other out. And then, I mean, I didn't mention it, but there's definitely like events, there's fellowship events, tournaments, different things where everybody kind of helps each other. But the whole point of the game, to wrap it up, is helping one another, help each other grow, help each other through events, help each other through just boosting each other. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about these buildings here. The Golden Abyss and all these things. These are all special, really large special buildings. And the only way to research them and upgrade them is by putting these knowledge points in there, which, as you can see below, nobody can help you with that. That is not in your fellowship. So if you have 20 people in your fellowship, they can all contribute to these. Now you're upgrading these so much faster. So like I said, everything in this game is about fellowship. It's about bringing people together, helping each other, because if you help somebody, it's going to help you back. That's one thing I didn't look at here. Sorry. See down here where it says rank of like who helped you with what. On the right side, it'll tell you once the player actually progresses and goes to the next level, there is a reward depending on who helped you the most, etc. So it gives you incentive to help other players progress in their own game, which is really cool. So I'm just going to wrap it up there. There's definitely some more points on why you should play this game or why you should check it out. But that's the main thing.